down this fine evening. So you know what I would love is if you could just tell me a couple things. First of all, can you see me? And second of all, can you hear me? That would make me a very happy man. I don't know what it is about lives at the moment. But the last time I went live, which was with the Sail Away Boys, we really did have, thank you, Simon, an IT meltdown like no other. So I'm very pleased you can all hear me and you can see me. This was actually the other way around just now. I know the sign behind may well be back to front. I'm sorry about that. Please forgive me. I also want to apologize because I'm looking quite rough today, actually, aren't I? I had a procedure at the dentist earlier today, and I have to say, it really knocked me for 600 even. Good evening, Squire. And my poor patrons, who I was sending some video messages to, my tiers 3 to 5, I mean, I literally couldn't use half my face, and I had a few messages saying, "Are you okay? You look really unwell." But I think I'm getting there now. So it's great to see you all. Welcome to this Monday Night Live with me, travel blog Jamie Holderhead. You look totally fine. I love it when people say you look fine. Like, you don't look very good. You look fine. Cruise ache, maybe. Face ache, toothache, all aches, every kind of ache. Hi, Hadwins. But yes, welcome one and all. And if you are new to the channel, you are warmly invited, and we're all giving you massive bear hugs. We really are. So thank you for joining me. And I really do like starting off with a check-in, looking 50 and fabulous. What do you mean looking 50? That's so rude. You look every year of 50, Jamie. Thank you so much for that. And anyway, as I was saying, I do like a check-in at the start of our live. So it would be great if below you could just show us, or how are you getting on? A 0 would be like you need immediate check-in, and we have an amazing community here. They will all check in on you. A 10 would be you're running away from the dentist, fully naked, dancing in the streets with no toothache. Your tooth's fine. People are turning 40. Oh, gosh, I don't even remember becoming 40, to be honest with you. Feels like a long time ago. We are around the 8 mark, 7s, 8s. Now I've seen some 10s, 8.5, says Diane. That's good to hear, good to see. The other thing I'd love if you could do, folks, actually. Oh, and the Welsh Wanderers are here. It's the first time. Can I just say the Welsh Wanderers won June's giveaway on Instagram. Yes, it's hot, isn't it, Diane? I know. So congratulations to them. And also, if you are on Instagram, I literally have just launched the July giveaway. I've got some fabulous products for you. Look, who doesn't love Rituals products? I love them. Got Rituals products. We've got Cunard slippers. No, I haven't worn them. And we've got all this Cunard bump here as well. Look, loads of it. So if you fancy winning those products for your July giveaway, head on over to Instagram at travelvlogjamie. It looks like I think most of us are actually pretty good. For those of you who are not in the UK at the moment, in parts of the UK, we're in the grip. Let's exaggerate this, the grip of a heat wave, and it is hot. And when people say, oh, for goodness sake, it's only 34 degrees Celsius, you should be here in this country, it's like a billion, gazillion degrees Celsius. But let me just tell you, we aren't so good with the aircon over here in places. And sometimes it can feel like you're sitting on the sun, believe me. So, you know, most of our buildings are actually built to keep heat in, which is great when it's winter. Not so great when it's the summer through a heat wave. No, in Scotland, I've actually, yes, it's a train. I was in Scotland just a few days ago, and it was so cooling and refreshing. It really was lovely. The other thing I was going to say to you, though, I've digressed majorly, is I would love to know where you are dialing in from. No, I don't mean your actual address, my darlings. That would be a little bit too much, wouldn't it? But, you know, either a country, a city. Hi, my name's Jamie, and I'm calling in tonight from Basingstoke. that kind of thing. I love to know where you all are because I'm very nosy like that. And whilst you're doing that, can I just remind you, you can follow me, we can follow each other. Oh my goodness, we got Laguna Beach, love it. Roasting Reading. Whilst we're on it, you can follow me on Facebook. That's Jamie W. Robbins. I'm sorry it's not travel blog, Jamie. That would be easy, wouldn't it? But it's a faff to change all of that. It really is. Or social media platforms other than that at travel blog Jamie. Of course, right here, right now on YouTube, please do follow me. We are closing in on the 43,000 subscriber mark, which is awesome beyond awesome. Thank you so much for that. Patreon.com/travelblog Jamie. There are now 683 patrons. It's still blowing my mind. We've got Zante, hello, Bognor Regis, calling Bognor Regis. It's good to have you here. You're all over the place. I love it. What else was it? Oh, cameo.com/travelblog Jamie as well. Still hovering around the top 13% worldwide for most requested cameos, which I'm laughing at. Oh, that's amazing. How weird is that, hey? Okay, so that's all of that out of the way. Thank you for sharing me where you are calling in from. So a few things before we get cracking with all your questions and shout outs, and please don't ask any questions just yet. The likelihood of me seeing them is minimal until I'm focused on it. I've got a big screen down here so I can see even more questions than normal. Hopefully that's going to work out beautifully. But let's talk about a few things. First of all, yes, thank you, Vicky earlier. I am now officially I can't say it. 50. And I'll tell you one thing. I get a lot of people asking, what's it like being 50? I'm like, well, it's exactly like it felt being 49 last week before that, you know. I tell you what I found that's really interesting. Other people around me have got a real thing about me becoming 50, and I haven't. I don't give a monkey's. I don't give a rat's ass. And I feel like other people are struggling with it. My sister and my mum didn't even realise I was turning 50. They thought I was like 40 or something. I'm like, no, you missed a decade. I am, or hi, Alicante, or it's been hot over there. I kind of missed the last decade. I had a great 50th on my actual birthday. Woke up in smelly old Southampton at the White Star on Oxford Street in Southampton. And Matthew and I had a nice little breakfast. And we made our way to join Queen Mary 2 for our 4-night voyage to Rotterdam and back. No, I don't behave it. How does a 50-year-old behave, by the way? Just how? Please, can someone explain to me how a 50-year-old behaves? I want to know this. Tell me, because I've had this from other people as well. Oh, Wimpy, love Wimpy. Before that, though, I had my patron meetup. I do 2 patron meetups and a year, and this is the first time we've done one in what's my skincare regime: water, air and mung beans, my darlings. I had a patron meetup, as I do twice a year, and it was in amazing Stoke, Basingstoke, the land of dreams this time. And my patrons, there were about 50 people coming along, and I had the venue all ready to go, but some of my patrons were, I'd say, naughty/awesome, a little bit naughty and a lot awesome, and actually hijacked. Can I say hijacked without anyone getting offended? Any patrons? It was hijacking, wasn't it? In the best possible way. Hijacked the event and turned it into a surprise 50th for me. And it was fabulous. I literally walked through this arch, all decorated with balloons. There was an inflatable walking stick there, and everyone was inside. Yay, cheers. Cindy ran up to me with a vodka, soda and fresh lime. And we had Ben, DJ Ben, in the house, who had his DJ equipment. It was quite a raucous event in the end, actually. So thank you to those of you who organised that for me. It was mucho apreciado. I had a great evening. I hope you had a great evening too. The vlog of that event, plus me turning 50, and Matthew and I spending the night in Southampton, and the day of my birthday is actually out tomorrow. No, it's not. Is it Tuesday tomorrow? It's not out tomorrow then, is it? Wednesday. 2 days. In 2 days' time. Oh, and Simon Davey, who's in the house. made the most amazing a low sugar cake for me, a coffee cake. And Cindy brought over all these decorations, wrap decorations, which was totally appropriate. So it was just amazing. It really was. Can I tell you one thing though that was really fun for me? Matthew arrived about an hour into the event, and people saw him coming up the pathway, and it was like a deadly silence. I went to get him, as did Victoria Tees, and he comes into the events room, and there's this almighty cheer for him, which is so lovely. And you can imagine Matthew, can't you, like dying on the inside, like, oh my god. It was so good. So look, I had the best time that evening. I had the best build up to being 50. I loved, we had lovely weather in Southampton, lovely weather joining Queen Mary too. So thank you. I've never had so many messages in my life. You know, like on Facebook and stuff, it tells you how many messages you've got under a thread. So I had over 1,000, and I'm really, really sorry that I didn't. Normally on my birthday, I respond to every single message. I'm so sorry if I didn't respond to you. Please don't think I was being ignorant or rude. I thank you massively for all your messages, your gifts, your cards, and so on. It was truly overwhelming in the best way possible. It was like when I got married. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So Queen Mary 2. Wow, Matthew and I, because it was my birthday, first of all, I splashed out for a balcony cabin / stateroom. Ooh. But not just that, oh no, actually splashed out on a club balcony cabin. Now, some people have been very vocal about the fact they don't agree with having a club balcony on Cunard. Let me tell you what that gets you. Pretty much the same balcony cabin stateroom as the standard ones. The difference being the location. They have uninterrupted views, and also the most important thing for us, they had a priority boarding, not obviously above the queens and princess folk and top tier people, they go first. But the most important thing for us was actually, in spite of a few little perks here and there, you get to eat in the Britannia Club restaurant main dining room. You get your own table for breakfast, lunch and dinner for the duration of your cruise. You get the same staff there, and essentially you, like for dinner, you can go to your table anytime between, 6 and 9 p.m. You can rock up whenever you want, and you literally just walk straight to it, and on you go. The tables are spread out nicely. You know I'm funny about all of that sort of jazz, don't you? And it worked really well for us. You know, we felt it was a really nice, calm environment. It was worth. We paid an extra £100-ish each for the club aspect of our cruise, and we felt it was well worth it. Sometimes it costs a lot more than that to upgrade to club, but for our 4-night voyage, in total it was £700 each, and I felt like, I don't know that people are jealous, are they, David? Surely they're not jealous about a club room. I mean, you'd be maybe more jealous about having princess grills or queen's grills. Maybe they are, I don't know. But, you know, it's my 50th, and we paid £700 each for the privilege of having a club balcony and a 4-night voyage on Queen Mary 2. The crew were awesome, can I just say. They were fabulous. Probably the best crew I've sailed with on a Cunard ship. And I just thank them because they really made our voyage very special indeed. And we had some cards in the cabin from crew, the captain, a bottle of bubbles saying happy birthday and stuff like that. Yes, Welsh Wanderers, it was definitely cheaper than Independence of the Seas, and that was only 2 nights and not quite the same quality, if I'm honest with you. So the crew, first and foremost, were just fabulous. Loved our cabin, by the way, even though Queen Mary 2 is older than something like Independence of the Seas, the cabins are still looking, I think, pretty much the part. I like the colour schemes. It was spacious enough. The aircon was fabulous. So no problems with that. The balcony was a good size. Could do with a bigger table on the balcony, but it wasn't very big, and I know room service is a thing. Please can you keep your questions parked for now, because I won't see them all. They're just flying by. I'll come to them later, okay? So yeah, maybe a bigger table on the balcony if you're having room service and so on, but that was pretty much it. And also, some people I know are very offended by the clingy shower curtains, especially on a more luxury brand, which I get. Like Azamara, they tried to put in screens in their bathrooms instead of clingy shower curtains, and apparently it didn't work because it was an old modular kind of bathroom. It just didn't work. So in the end, they replaced the clean curtains with bamboo curtains, which are cleaned after every cruise. They really do look the part, and I think, like, maybe Cunard could invest in something like that one day. I just think the clean curtains don't really go with the luxury brand, but otherwise it was great. Bars and lounges on Queen Mary 2, love them. They all feel so individual, unique, and they look the part. Love them. And there's a great selection of cocktails on board still. Minnow's pool at the very aft, lower down, it was heated beautifully, my loves, and you know I like that. And yeah, Matthew was straight in with me. Like, you don't often see him in the swimming pool on a ship. Boom! In he went. I got it on camera. I absolutely have got it on camera, I promise you. Yes, Jules and Kev, you have a starring role in Wednesday's vlog. I hope you enjoy that. I'd spread out your role over maybe a minute or so, okay, just to make sure people know you're in it. The food in the MDR, it was an improvement on my last cruise with Cunard, and also my last time on Queen Mary too. I know there have been a few comments about food. We, and Matthew, when I say we really enjoyed our food on board. Incidentally, if you have the club restaurant like we had, you also get an extra menu to choose from. There are more options. Someone said to me, oh, you only get 2 extra entrees. Yeah, that's not true. There's a whole extra menu to choose from, plus the always available sections. So it felt like we had great variety. The Veranda Steakhouse, we had lunch there. I think it was like $30 something each for lunch. And it's the first time Matthew had eaten there. It was delicious. Everything we had was superb, as was the service. So if you aren't sure about the Veranda Steakhouse on Cunard, can I suggest maybe you try out lunch and see what you think. It was great. We were in Rotterdam again, but we tried some different things this time around, and I will save that for the vlog for you. You can find that out for yourself. But we had a great day, and it was scorcho. I think it was 28 degrees Celsius that day in Rotterdam. It was beautiful. It maybe a little bit too warm at times. The only thing that was less good, yeah, the bread in the Veranda. It's like Parker house rolls, and they've got like a I don't know what to call it. It's almost like it's like a syrupy kind of topping, or what is it they put on top? It's almost like sweet on top, but then salty. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe someone knows what it is, but Matthew lapped those up. The only thing that wasn't so good over the 4 days was breakfast. Actually, we had quite long waits for breakfast, and unfortunately some of the food arrived pretty cold. Honey glazed, I don't know if it was honey glazed, it might be Mandy, absolutely something like that though. Yeah, they went down very well, those rolls. Just the breakfast, the service was out of the kitchen pretty slow, and not just in the club dining room but also the main dining room. And some of the food coming out was unfortunately cold, and the fried eggs were very sloppy, even though we ordered them over medium, and it was like that most days. Some sort of sugar syrup, David, yeah. That was the one thing that was less good, you know. But I think in the spirit of balance of fairness, everything else we found to be of very good quality and very enjoyable indeed. So I hope you enjoy those vlogs when they come out. I have to say, every time I've been on Queen Mary 2, I've had a great time. Oh, and I also put a little message out there on social media, because a lot of people had asked if they could meet for a drink. Some people were like, can we take you for a meal? That's not necessary. It's so kind, but honestly. So I put a message out. I'm going to be in the club at this time. Lots of people came along. It was great to meet everyone. So there you go. I hope you enjoy the vlogs when I release those pretty soon. Newsflash, I have a new cruise booked, and it just so happens it is a river cruise, and this one isn't until, yes, that's a train. Before anyone says, is that a train? It's a train. I live by a railway station. It's a river cruise. Oh, that's a loud one. It's a bit derailed, maybe. Yeah, it's a river cruise, and it's with TUI River Cruises again. And some of you might be like, "Oh, he's already done that." But I'm gonna go on their new boat. I can call it a boat. It's a river boat, which is launching early next year. I think March, and it's TUI Aria, not Avia. No, not P&O, different brand. And what I'm pleased about with this new boat for them, I mean, it's not purpose built for them. They've taken it on, and they're refurbing. It has a pool, and you know, very often on riverboats, you might get like a little plunge pool, you might get some hot tubs, but this has a pool, and I'm looking forward to that. Now, let me tell you the itinerary, and I've made a note because you know I'm terrible at remembering where I'm going. So Basel, Switzerland, then all of the following ports are in Germany, and I do, oh god, I can't read my own writing. I do apologize about my terrible German. Breisach, is it Breisach? Kiel, Mannheim, Rudesheim, Cologne, all Germany, and then to Amsterdam, and we have an overnighter there. So I'm really looking forward to trying their new boat and a slightly different itinerary for me as well. And here's the shock horror thing. Are you ready for this? Da, da, da. I've booked it through a TA. Now, you know I don't normally do that. I won't mention the TA's name yet. I won't mention how it's all gone because I feel like I need to go through the process and make sure I'm really happy with the outcome. So far, the TA in particular, yeah, da, 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 she's been very helpful, very supportive, very kind, and very friendly, approachable, and fingers crossed so far, so good. I'm not staying on the boat anywhere too, guys. No, I'm not. I don't do that ever. So I will let you know how the booking goes, and hopefully when we come to the end of the process, if it goes well, I might be able to use that TA again and at least make some recommendations to you. Not talking about commission-based recommendations or anything like that, just letting you know that it's gone well and I would work with her again. Okay, that's pretty much as far as that will go. So that's exciting. Right, I want to talk about something that's a little more sobering. You don't need to warn me to, guys, see the world. People have warned me about all sorts of ports around the world. I've already looked it up, to be honest with you, and even the ports that people said never get off, I have had a great time. Okay, I always find good things to do. Always. Oh, Suzanne is talking in German, and I love that, and I don't understand everything she's saying. Okay, before I take your questions, the one thing that I want to talk about a little bit, and it's something that really saddened me when I read about it online over the last week, and I've had a couple comments online this week which I wanted to bring up, and it's all to do with internet trolls and negativity. And I suppose I consider myself very fortunate that I have an amazing community, and I mean, like Patreon, they're just amazing. They're all making lifelong friendships. They're meeting up. They're literally traveling abroad to meet each other. But on here on YouTube, when we do our lives, you know, I think I've only ever had to block 3 people in all the lives I've done over the last couple of years. I don't know how they ended up here. It's probably just flashed up on the screen and like, who is this? What is it? Whatever, you know. So I feel quite fortunate. And actually, the kind of bullying, intimidating comments I've had have only ever come from a couple cruise vloggers, actually. And just some random people online that I don't know. So I consider myself very fortunate. But I don't know if you were familiar with a YouTuber called Michaela Rains. I think she's 29 years of age, who was a devoted wildlife rescuer. And she unfortunately took her own life very recently. And husband and family has said it was the result of so much online bullying and nastiness, and I don't know the ins and outs. I'm sure they're the only ones who will know, but it proved too much for her. And it's pretty devastating, isn't it? It's just so tragic that anybody would consider doing that at the hands of people out there online, and their comments. And I just find it unfathomable. But when I read this, and I don't mean to turn attention away from that awful event, but I don't profess to understand what happened there. I don't know the kind of comments that she was receiving. I don't know. But it did make me think about, and in the month of June, Pride here in the UK, it made me think about my childhood and growing up. And I won't go into too much detail, but knowing who I was inside, knowing, my sexuality, and growing up in Devon, in Plymouth, during the late 70s and 80s, it was hard. It was really hard. And I felt like, in spite of the amazing family I have had, there was a lot of hatred out there, and a lot of hatred I had access to as a very young boy growing up, knowing about myself from a very early age. And it really was tough. The amount of verbal abuse was shocking. And it's only when you get a bit older and you reflect on it, you think, my goodness me, that was hard. And there were times when I felt very vulnerable. Let's say that, shall we? Very vulnerable indeed. And when I came out, it was like an explosion, an absolute explosion of almost rage and resentment and disappointment. And that was hard for anybody around me. It really was. And as I grew up, I felt more empowered and stronger to tackle bullies and people who had tried to make my life miserable for some reason. Like, why do you do that? Why do you do that to people? And there were times when, before I actually came out to my family, I will admit to you, I was literally gonna run away. I was gonna leave. I didn't know where I was gonna go. I didn't know what I was gonna do or how I was gonna survive. I just thought, no one can know this. I'm gonna run for the hills. I think I thought I might go to London, which I actually eventually did for one reason or another. And it made me think, some of you, and it comes from a very good place. Sometimes when I've had comments online, or unpleasant comments, homophobia, I very often challenge it, very often. And some of you say, just ignore them. But here's what I think. It's sometimes the ignoring that makes you part of the issue. And I feel like there are people out there, and I know there are, because I get messages about this, who need to see that they're being supported. I didn't see that when I grew up, ever, from anybody. There was zero support, and it was such a difficult process. And in my mind now, if I can help just one person to feel better about themselves, or just to get in touch with me, I think it's worth fighting for that. So some of you, I know, you're so caring and so lovely to me, and you'll just ignore it. I don't want you to think when I don't ignore it, it's because it's upsetting me. It's not upsetting me. I'm standing up for the people who cannot stand up for themselves. And if you think about poor Michaela, and whatever her situation was, for whatever reason, she couldn't stand up for herself. And I would just want you to understand that when I have gone back at people, it's because I want other people to know, you're not alone. I'm here for you. And let me give you an example of some of the comments I've had this week, and over the last week, not just today. And let me tell you how it made me feel. So we'll go from one end of the spectrum. The other end is going to shock you, okay? So I'm just warning you now that the other end of the spectrum is could be a little bit upsetting. But first of all, the one I had today was, you moan too much in your vlogs. And I don't give a monkeys about that kind of comment. I have no value. There's no value in that. It means nothing to me, because that person doesn't know me. Like, if you watch my vlogs, yeah, I'll tackle things when I don't like them, but on the whole, I think most people think I am pretty balanced, and usually having the best time possible. So that comment means nothing to me. It's nothing. And a couple comments over the last few months like, we don't want to see your face. We just want you to point the camera and tell us what's what. And that makes me laugh. It's like, well, go and watch someone else who doesn't show their face. Go and watch someone else. And good luck when you're watching TV programs, people presenting, because guess what they do? They show their ugly little mugs like me. That doesn't bother me either. It's like, don't be a meat sandwich. Go away. Go away. I couldn't give a monkeys about that. Impenetrable, honestly. Here's a comment that I had over the last few days. This one's a little bit more shocking. I'll try and tone down the language. Somebody decided they were going to come for my mum, and I apologize in advance if this offends anyone. They were talking about how they're going to penetrate my mum, and they didn't say it in that way. They said it in a much cruder way than that. So you can imagine. And you may think that would upset me or offend me. I didn't give monkeys. Do you know why? Because these are people who know nothing about me or my family. So to say that about my mum, who's like in her 70s, I think is gross on that person's part. And I wonder if your family knew you've just said that, how they would think about you, is what went through my mind. But I did not care that they said that. So I feel pretty solid, yeah, rhino skin, whatever. I don't care about those sorts of things. And it's really easy because I can either go back at them and put them in a place, or I just block them. We don't need people like that in our lives, do we? But some people can't manage that kind of level of critique or cruelty. It's cruel, isn't it, saying that about people's families? Imagine if someone was saying that about their daughter, for example. Just awful. I can handle it, but there are people out there who cannot handle that sort of thing, and I get why they can't. I absolutely get it. So I just want to remind anybody out there who's listening, who's watching this, and I can see in the comments people are super supportive of one another. I don't need you to be worried about me, but I really want you, and I need to be better at this as well. We're all guilty of saying things sometimes, aren't we, that might offend someone. But I just think, can I ask you to do one thing for me? Like, just, Harold, you'll have to wait. Just this evening, wherever you are in the world, daytime, morning, just find somebody who you care about, you love, or you miss, you haven't been in touch with for a while. Just a quick message, just to say you're thinking of them, anything. Because you know what, over the course of this live, there are normally up to 3,000 people who have joined at one point, and people watching on replay. Hi replay people, I love you. Sometimes there are up to 10,000 people who have watched. Imagine if we had 10,000, send 2 messages, 10,000 amazing, lovely comments that go out to somebody tonight. That would make me really happy. So if you could do that for me, a tiny message, anything, or it could be a person sat next to you, give them a little peck on the cheek, anything, I'd love it. And I also wanted to say, if anyone out there is struggling with anything, of course, there are lots of free and confidential services available. You can do a search online for that and reach out to somebody, message me. I'll listen to you. I can't always guarantee that I can respond in full, but I'm there to listen, I promise you. So yeah, I know some of you will think, oh, what's he going on about? That's a bit deep, but it's Pride in June. We've come to the end of that. People still say, don't they, well, you don't need all of that. Don't shove it in my face. Here, I'm just giving you reasons why we do need things like that sometimes, whether you believe it or not, okay? There you go. That's all I want to say about that. Right, next. Slightly more lighthearted. This Thursday begins a new adventure for me, and this is a bit different. So on Friday morning, I'm sailing out of Dover with Fred Olsen, #gifted. Sorry about that. I'm not answering questions yet. I'm going to just say that one more time. You'll have to wait your turn, please. Thank you very much, Harold. You know that. I've been invited by the Port Authority marketing team to go to Dover, and they're going to take me on a tour in and outside of Dover, and to a vineyard, believe it or not, and they're putting me up in a hotel. It's amazing. And what they're asking in return is that I vlog the experience and show people what you can do in the port of Dover or on the outskirts before you head off on a cruise or indeed on a ferry. You know, it's a popular route, isn't it? And I think that's amazing. So I'm going to try my best to film as much as possible. And then I've got the cruise on Friday. It's a 13-night cruise to the Azores. Has anyone out there been to the Azores? I can't wait. I've got some amazing plans. And I'm meeting some locals as well to do interviews with them for the vlog, which is just incredible. And then we're sailing towards to Portugal before heading back to Southampton. So there's a lot going on there. I won't be around here for the next couple Mondays, you understand. And we'll try my at best to do the odd pop-up or two for you, okay? And so watch this space. It's all happening, my loves. Right, before I go to your questions and shout-outs, please could I have some thumbs up? We're normally way beyond the 100 mark by now. I'm going to assume you're just focused. What's the time? Yeah, maybe you're just focused, okay? Thank you for all your kind comments I've seen popping up. That's really lovely of you and much appreciated. Right, I'm now ready if you are. Sorry if that got a bit deep, but you know what? When something like that happens and it resonates with you, I kind of feel like I want to talk about it as a little bit as well. I do. I hope you don't mind. And my best is with that person's family. Okay, say hello to my ever-loving hubby, Neil. He always watches with me. Hi, Neil. Mrs. Vinny's Neil. Love you. Whilst you're thinking of your questions, I'm going to have a quick sip of this, if you don't mind. Thumbs up. It depends what device you're using, but normally you've got a thumbs up and a thumbs down. The thumbs up is just good for my self-esteem. Yeah, sometimes these things need to be said. It's true. Jackie said, when we grew up, Jamie, we could go home, shut the front door to escape bullies. Nowadays, you can't escape keyboard warriors. I agree with you. It's a different world, a totally different world. And come on, we're there for each other, yeah? We're there for those people who are struggling with that. Let's have a look. Holiday Head says, hugs to all of you that have been bullied. Absolutely. Hadwins, I'm allowed back to the next patron meetup. Would you? Oh wow, I thought I saw a Hadwin sneak through the poll. We're going to be in a pretty lively bar though, Ben, and they've got live music. If you want to get hold of the tea room and ask if they need anyone, then do that. You never know what they might say. Yes, because it's some way off. Vicky wants to shout out to Josh and Alfie, who are not watching right now. They might watch on catch up. Huge congratulations on their engagement. I did message them and I sent them a video message. Alfie, it was so hard playing with Josh, keeping it a secret. Love you both. There you go. We'll all be waiting for invites to that wedding. Karen, we love you and your blogs. Keep doing you. Thank you very much, Karen. I will, my darling. David, question. What is your opinion on the latest update from Dan and Jay regarding their ban? Will they be back on live for part 2? I don't think they need to be on one of my lives. I think they've got it covered. So for those of you who are not aware, what Dan and Jay have now ascertained is that P&O headquarters, or the PR person, is the person who has banned them. They're not banned from all the cruise lines under the Carnival umbrella. The ban did not come from Carnival, which I know a lot of people have said they think it did. It hasn't. It's from P&O headquarters. I feel sad about that, and the messages I've seen out there, some of you have suggested there's some sort of targeting going on for some reason, and I wouldn't be able to comment on that at all. So I'm pleased that they have got more clarity now, because that letter was as clear as mud. Thank you for that question. Nicola, did you enjoy Scotland? I did. For those of you who didn't know, I took the Caledonian Sleeper for the first time overnight up to Scotland, which was amazing, up to Glasgow. I've vlogged that. It was such a cool experience. I can't wait to do that again. And I caught up with my niece, my nephew, who are married. Not niece and nephew married, you know, my nephew is now my nephew-in-law. My goodness me, I'm not judging if you do that either, by the way. Didn't. And met my great nephew for the first time. So they live in Helensburgh. We had a great time exploring Loch Lomond, and it was lovely. I had a lovely time. My niece and I had a nice heart to heart in the evening. We had too many drinks, I'm sure, and it was lovely. It felt like old times. So thank you for asking. It was great, and I hope you enjoy. I haven't vlogged all that because that was us time, you know, but the journey up there, and I've added photos to the end of the vlog. I hope you enjoy those as well. Da, da, da. Have Fork will eat. No, I've hopefully I've just explained exactly what happened there. Vicky, venue will have to be there. It was the best time. Ahoy Bearers, got a wedding in Basingstoke in August. Good but fair price hotel. Well, there aren't many hotels in Basingstoke. You've got the Red Lion, which is a very good price hotel, which will be in my vlog on Wednesday if you want to have a look. They don't have aircon though. There's a Premier Inn up there, and near by there's a Village Hotel. Those are the three. And shout out to my hubby with me in a very hot Zante. Wi-Fi working. Oh yes, you said you'd be here if the Wi-Fi was working. I hope you're having an amazing time in beautiful Zante. People are wishing Josh and Alfie a happy engagement. Penny and Steve, we are off on Princess Emerald Princess, Thursday for our 25th wedding anniversary, going around the British Isles. My tip would be to watch my British Isles cruise because it's got thousands of tips, literally a 4-parter. There was so much to film. It ain't all fluff, okay? I can tell you that now. That honestly would be my tip. And also, I'm not sure what your ports call us, so I couldn't quite give you all the info you need. But I went ashore, lots of excursions, lots of exciting things. So have a look at the vlog, and happy 25th wedding anniversary to you. Welsh Wanderers found it. Wendy 51, interesting story I had recently. Couple due to travel on P&O. I'm not sure where that story's going, Wendy. Maybe you're going to follow up a little bit later. Thank you for that. Tracy, excited to be going on QM2 to Norwegian Fuels in 2 weeks. Why did I book through a TA for that? Because how do I keep track of all my holidays? I've just got a spreadsheet. I decided to book through a TA for a number of reasons, because I'm always saying I never book through TAs because I'm a control freak. This particular TA has been gently persuasive of me to try a TA and see how things work. And I feel like, because so many of you like using TAs, so many of you tell me you get better deals and so on, I've just been waiting to find the right person, that's all. And that's it, I'm gonna give it a go. I can't say for the rest of my life I'm never using a TA, unless this goes really badly. I'm sure it won't. Pam says, no need to apologise for being a bit deep. Thank you for caring enough to raise topic on your life. You are welcome. It's important, I think. How about doing a group cruise at some point from North America? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't thought about it. Let me do the group cruise from the UK first of all, and I do have another group cruise being planned for 2027. Let's see how we go. It's not a no though, okay, Diva? Harold, unethical hypothetical question. Someone returned from port with a bottle of fizzy pop, forgot. Would it get through? I don't know. Try it. I honestly don't care about that sort of thing. I know I probably should do, but if you want to try and take booze on board into your cabin, it's nothing to do with me. And if you can do it, that's fine. I honestly haven't got a strong opinion on that. I know some people say, oh, you'll spoil it for everyone else. I mean, a lot of cruise lines don't actually allow it at all. So maybe I should have a stronger stance on that. And I'm really sorry if you feel I should and I haven't. Try it. The worst thing that'll happen is they'll confiscate it and you'll get it back at the end of the trip. Holiday Have, shout out to Jules and Kev. Love meeting up with you on a cruise. Thanks. Oh, they're lovely, aren't they? Actually, you're all lovely. Holiday Have, partner, Jules and Kev, they're all lovely. All patrons. You see, I told you, lovely community. I love it, love it, love it. Welsh Wanderers, looking forward to your vlog on the sleeper train. Would you ever go for a longer train experience? Yeah, I would. I tell you what though, it was an overnighter, and as soon as I got into the club lounge, you know, the bar, I just wanted to stay there for hours, but I'm like, I have to go to bed at some point, otherwise I'm going to literally arrive into Scotland at 7:15 in the morning without any rest, and that would not be good. It really wouldn't. Yes, I've been on Celebrity Cruise before. I think kind of well documented that it wasn't my favorite experience, and I have tried looking for another Celebrity Cruise, but as a solo passenger, their prices are generally very high as a solo, and I have not been able to find a cruise at the right price. Like the four-nighter at the end of August, which I was going to go on, was coming out at £1,400 for me. No, thank you. No, not for 4 nights. So I will keep looking. I feel like I want to try again. I do, absolutely. Simon has also recommended me to me before the Fort William journey being stunning. Absolutely, we'll try that one day. And Simon has also stayed at the Red Lion and Premier in Basingstoke. Both good quality, easy access to the town centre. 100% agree with that. Nicola, glad you had a special time with your niece and family. Thank you very much. Ahoy bears, thank you. You're welcome, always. Holiday have two guys, see the world. I'm sailing Celebrity Apex, October 2026. Oh, that feels like such a long time away. Jules and Kev, shout out back to Holiday Heaven Andy. Lovely chain. That's nice. That makes me all warm and centered. It really does. I'm sorry that I'm looking down. I am with you. You know that. I'm just making sure I don't miss any comments. So far, I don't think I have, you know. All right. Mrs. Vinny, question regarding Sky Princess. Do you need Princess Premier or is Plus okay? I'm always good with Plus, to be honest with you. I think it's more than sufficient in terms of the range of drinks on board, plus a few extra special things like the casual dining. That's my opinion. And also you get your Wi-Fi included. I normally do specialty dining maybe once or twice, so I don't feel like I would need to get the Premier package, but it's enough for me. I don't know if you've watched my Princess vlogs, but I go into detail about what's included and how it's worked for me. Harold, is Basingstoke called Last Basingstoke? You dreamt it. Ones and zeros. Opinion on Sky Princess. I prefer Regal Princess, but Sky Princess is a very nice ship. I like the adults only area, and I like the specialty dining in particular on board. I have lots of vlogs on Sky Princess in case you want to have a look. Jacqueline, shout out for my husband and his sore bits and bobs. Say no more. Jacqueline's husband, I hope your sore bits and bobs, odd and sod, nick and nat, brick and brack get better very, very soon. We can't be having that. Jules and Kev say the village hotel is great value, nice and modern. A factor in the price of 5-minute cab ride into town and back. It's not in the centre, correct. It would take probably 25 minutes to walk, maybe. Harold, I don't really mind if you do lower the tone of Cunard. I'm not that kind of person. I don't give a monkey's. Lower the tone if you want to. Honestly, it's up to you. Vicky, shout out to the lady at the Red Line who was absolutely amazing in helping us set up your surprise party. She was an absolute asset to the team and the Red Line. She couldn't do enough, and also she let me interview her for my vlog, so she'll be there on Wednesday. Thank you for overview of Queen Mary 2, says Lee. It's now an absolute must for me in the future, possibly 2028 when I'm 60. Transatlantic, I would do another transatlantic any day on Queen Mary 2. I love Queen Mary 2, and the transatlantics are just awesome. If I ever got banned from some of the Carnival cruise lines because of P&O, I would miss going on transatlantics on Cunard. That's what I would miss. But you know, I am responsible for my own actions, and am I not, my darlings? If that were to happen to me, so be it. So be it. Yes, I have. Richard has booked the Red Line for November meetup. Who redacted a message? I saw that, but I didn't mention it because I didn't want to draw attention to it, Harold. Lee says, can't remember if you've been on NCL. Yes, I was on NCL a few months ago. If you just search Travelodge Jamie Norwegian Cruise Line, it will come up as just a 2-nighter. I thought it was lively, it was fun, it was quirky, it was casual, and I enjoyed it very much. I'm going on Norwegian Dawn around the British Isles this August, so I've got 11 nights with Norwegian this August. I'm really excited to be on board for a lot longer. Best cruise line for a transatlantic. I don't really feel there are best cruise lines for certain things. I'm just very fond of the ocean liner that is Queen Mary 2. I think I love going from Southampton to New York. I love sailing into New York more than I do sailing out of New York. I would always do Queen Mary 2, and such a stable ship as well. More votes for Red Lion. It was very hot, wasn't it? They haven't got aircon, but they have fans. In November will be much, much easier. Wendy said, sorry, Jamie, comment went, oh, please don't forget thumbs up. I did see a flurry when I was asking politely. Thank you for that. We like to get to about 200 during a live, otherwise my self-esteem hits rock bottom. Sorry, Jamie, went before I could complete it. Couple due to travel on P&O had the cruise cancelled the day before due to cabin being double booked. How can this happen? Bad management? I don't know. Anybody know the answer to that? I don't know. Mistake? I can't say, obviously, can I? Because I could get banned. So maybe someone out there knows the answer, but I think it's unacceptable, that's for sure. And I hope they were well compensated. It makes me sad for those people. You know, a lot of people, this is like experience of a lifetime for them, say for a long time. Laurie, sailing on Hal in January to Hawaii. Awesome. Gosh, I loved my cruise to Hawaii. Your cruise to Hawaii inspired me. Okay, I really am pleased about that. I bloody loved that cruise, and I'd love to cruise Hawaii again or go and do a land-based. I really would. People vouching for Sarah at the Red Line. Basingstoke, thank you about that. Lawrence, okay, I'm not sure if you've understood. I don't worry about the haters. I'm not sure if I didn't make that clear enough. I don't worry about the haters. I worry about other people who can't manage the haters. There's a big difference. We need to be there for people who struggle with that. Some people, we're all different. We don't all manage, so I don't worry about haters. They're wasting their time on me. They are. But I worry about other people who can't manage it. As I said, someone took their own life because of it. So it's just unacceptable on every single level, and we need to call it out every single time. Angela would like to thank Vicky for sorting out birthday messages for you. Oh, the birthday message video was lovely. Thank you so much for that. Harold is recommending frozen peas for Jacqueline's husband's bits and bobs to sort those out. They're tiny though. You'd have to have a lot for his bits and bobs because they're massive, I've been told. So I've heard. Paul, love your videos. Thank you very much. Inspires us. Which ship's gone? Just back from the fjords on that owner. Liked it, but I think I prefer smaller ships. Do you like large or small? Or both? I like variety. I honestly don't have a preference. I've been on small ships where they felt really crowded and there haven't been enough staff. I've been on large ships where they felt crowded and not enough staff, and then vice versa, where I've been on large ships and it's felt like I've got loads of room and there's loads of stuff. So it's all swings and roundabouts to me, really. I've had every single experience going, so I don't have a preference between them. I do think after I've been on some large ships, consecutive trips, it's always nice going back to the smaller ones, and I think, oh yeah, this is working out well for me. Fewer steps, a bit more intimate, and I do some smaller ships and then I go back to the large. So yeah, sorry, I'm sitting on the fence there, aren't I? Oh, Splinter. Oh, what can I say about that? Have Forkwilly on Princess, is there a strong stench of cigarettes wafting about most public areas? On Caribbean Princess, I found that in some areas, yeah, and I mentioned that in my vlog if you watched it. But on my subsequent Princess cruise on Ruby Princess, no, that wasn't the case. I felt like on Caribbean Princess, I don't know, the extraction unit just wasn't doing its job, and the location of the casino where people could smoke, it was a bad location. And on Ruby Princess it was kind of more out of the way, so that worked better in my opinion. So it really depends on the ship, I think. Aloe vera is being suggested for bits and bobs. I love how today the tone is now all about people's bits and bobs. What bits and bobs are we talking about, Jacqueline? I feel like you need to explain this to us, because maybe some people have got their heads in the gutter here. Maybe. Don't forget those thumbs up, please. We're on 158. Right, let's keep going. David Webb, do you watch any cruises about TV shows? No. I was saying this to someone today. They said, have you watched Poop Cruise? And I'm like, nope. I have watched it since, by the way, because I was asked I had so many messages. But I have to say, I was very disappointed with Poop Cruise, because I watched this all unfolding and hanging out as it happened. There was nothing I felt in the documentary, apart from the cruise director, that I hadn't already seen or heard. So I was disappointed. And I'll tell you what else was disappointing. I said to Matthew at the end, we were having a conversation, that surely the crew, the entertainment team, were doing something for passengers during that time. They never showed that in the documentary, and it just so happens Matthew went and found the cruise director's Facebook page, and he read out her comments to me after she appeared on the show and watched it back. She was really disappointed that it was not mentioned how the entertainment team were working around the clock to try and keep people entertained. I actually saw hate online for the crew for not trying to entertain people, which is not true. So I think that's actually irresponsible of Netflix. Sorry, it is. Like, you could have shown that that's what they were doing as well, in spite of what looked like horrific conditions, admittedly. Yeah, I prefer sailing into New York City for a couple of reasons. Sailing to New York City is, in my opinion, a massive thing, and I was overly stimulated and excited about arriving there and watching that sailing. It was iconic, but also you gain an hour each day, and then in the middle of the cruise it pauses, and then you keep gaining. So just arriving without feeling jet lagged is just wonderful. I think it's harder going in the opposite direction, going east, and also sailing into Southampton, in my humble opinion, is not quite as iconic as sailing into New York. And I loved sailing into New York and then spending time there. I thought that was just astonishing, amazing. Going back to David and your question, I don't watch cruise inspired TV shows, and that's nothing against them at all. Honestly, I don't feel like I've got time. I feel like I'm pretty much at capacity with what I'm doing at the moment, and I'm trying to make sure I have some downtime, and Matthew and I spend more time together, which is more important than watching TV, he says, who's now on your screens. But that's what I do, you know. So maybe if and when things calm down a little bit, David, and bearing in mind I've actually only been doing this job full time since September, if and when things calm down a little bit, maybe I'll treat myself to some of those shows. I'm sure I would like them as well. My tips on sailing to New York City on Queen Mary 2, watch my Queen Mary 2 vlogs. My tip, there are hundreds of tips on there. The thing is, when you go on a transatlantic and you've got all those sea days ahead, your mindset is completely different to what it is if you go on an actual cruise. And I felt things went incredibly fast on that transatlantic, to the extent we arrived into New York. I'm like, oh my God, is that it? Is it done? Some people say, do you get bored? I'm like, only boring people get bored. Sorry, there's so much to do, and I'm good at occupying myself. So sorry about that. Was my wedding ring smashing against the table, if you're wondering what that crack was. I'm okay. I promise you I'm okay. Please keep those thumbs up coming. Oh my God, we're nearly at an hour. I need to speed up, don't I? Woo! Welsh Wanderers, on your Margaritaville cruise, was music or Jimmy Buffett? No, in fact, I was saying to my American friends, I hadn't heard any Jimmy Buffett music for the first couple of days, and I was really disappointed. And then you actually see me in the vlog at one point going, oh, at last! If you've watched the vlogs, you will know I went, at last! And it was the, I don't know, I'm gonna go where the volcano blows, and all that kind of luck. And what was the other one? Da, 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 and Margaritaville. That one. I was beside myself with excitement when they came on. No, I didn't actually feel that on the cruise. There was just lots of Jimmy Buffett, but of course there was a lot of country music and sort of soft rock, that kind of stuff. Absolutely. You're not necessarily going to get your R&B and pop music on that cruise. Holiday Heather saying to David she loves Susan Calman. Yeah, I haven't watched her show, but I do like her. I do. Ian, is there anywhere you've been that you would not have visited if you weren't on a cruise? The river cruises that I've done. Different places along with Rhine, Danube. There are lots of ports, towns, villages I'd never even heard of, and I never would have got to visit. In terms of a cruise ship, I don't think I would have got to Hawaii had I not cruised there, because as a solo, it's really expensive to fly from the UK to Hawaii and stay there, or island hop. It's very expensive. It's one of the most expensive American states. And believe it or not, flying to San Francisco, which was a really cheap flight, return flight, doing it in January, and taking the cruise was by far the cheapest way for me to do it. If you don't know who Jimmy Buffett is, can I ask that you look him up? Thank you. He's really very famous. He's no longer with us. He was very famous in America in particular. Okay. Let's keep going. I want to make sure I have covered everyone. Holiday have. Do you know what holiday have? I said Kalman and I looked at your spelling Kalman and I went back to Kalman, but you don't need to worry about that. Holiday have got off Iona 21st of June. Simon, what is your favourite cruise port? Naughty Simon. I don't have a favourite cruise port. I mean, having a favourite place on the planet is, for me, just impossible. I'm sure it is for you as well, Simon. I loved my ports in Hawaii, there's no doubt about that, but then I love sailing the Adriatic, Norway, northern Norway, for example, parts of the Med. I'm looking forward to trying Alaska next year and Australia, unless I get banned and Princess won't have me. Otherwise, I'll be showing you. Actually, I'll still be going. I just won't go with Princess. So they can lose the money. I'll go with somebody else. So, no favourites. There's so many. When you turn 50, I already have Tim. Will you try Saga? I can't because they're so expensive for solos. And I know some of you will say to me, oh yeah, but Jamie, they do include this. And that's fine, but I'm still not paying over £2,000 for 7 nights on my own. I'm not. Contrary to popular belief, I don't have the money for that. Okay, so sorry about that. But I would try them. I think the ships look fabulous. And I don't have an issue with age, as I said earlier. I really couldn't give a monkeys about my age or anyone else's age here on land or on a cruise ship. Some of my good friends are certainly a couple decades older than me, and I can promise you they've got a lot more energy than me and a lot of you. They're awesome people. Deb said, I found you after booking our 16-day Hawaiian cruise next year and started following you. Thank you. I appreciate it. You inspired me to try MSC this fall, my first solo to celebrate my retirement. Oh, that's great. Well, let's say a happy retirement in advance. I hope your solo cruise goes well. I've never had a problem sailing solo, so I hope you've got lots of ideas and you feel okay. Lee says, sorry to insert myself, but just for info, Smoke wasn't wafting around Emerald Princess either. Good. As I said, I think it really depends on the age of the ship and where the casino is located, and how well the extraction is working. So I really hope they work on that on Caribbean Princess. Maybe they already have. Okay, Jacqueline says, he came to the meetup after a minor up. I know what Jacqueline is talking about. You can search Poop Cruise, Harold. As my American friends say, Harold, we've already discussed this. They know who they are. It makes me laugh every single time. Kate says, I'd love to be 50 again. 77 is bloody awful. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I love being 20, 30, 40, 50, and I hope I love being 60, 70. I'm not sure I'll get that far. We'll find out, won't we? Thank you, other people, explaining to Harold what Poop Cruise is. Mrs. Vinny have explaining it. David said, we watched Poop Cruise. It was very biased against the crew. Yeah, here's the thing. I hope some of the crew had an opportunity to talk about those things on camera, and I would have thought the entertainments lady, I'm sorry I don't remember her name, I know she literally has won awards for being one of the best entertainments leaders there are. I'm wondering if she actually spoke about the entertainment they tried to provide for guests and that it just wasn't used. So I think that's disappointing, actually. I do. Especially as she was the face, wasn't she, of Carnival. And I'm sure Netflix was really pleased to have her on board and agreeing to appear. So I felt like it was a bit unfair. I wasn't a fan of it at all. I've got to be honest with you. I wasn't. Sorry about that. We now have Mrs. Vinny. Documentary should have been a series to see all departments. I'm just glad it wasn't smell-o-vision. Oh, can you imagine? Yeah, scratch a stiff. No, thank you. Packing an extra box of Imodium. Yeah, I remember in the documentary, some people said that they were taking Imodium immediately, but I'm not sure it lasted for was it 5 days or something? I can't remember. It was terrible. Welsh Wanderers, love your Margaritaville vlogs, totally up my alley, and you totally changed my mind about the brand. Okay, well, that's good. And on that note, some people had said like I was on a mission to change people's minds, and I wasn't at all. I literally am on a mission to find out as much as I can and see how much a brand is for me. And in the process, you might get an idea as to whether the brand is for you or not, which I think is important. But yeah, I loved it. Loved it. Katie and Ryan's Adventures. Hi, don't forget to give them a follow. Have a great cruise on Friday. Thank you very much. Thanks for everything you do. You're welcome. Thank you for everything that you do as well. Harold has just looked it up. We've got a few retracted messages. No problem. Ian, different places for different reasons. Yes, totes. Yeah, I agree with you. It's hard to pinpoint. If you've been to lots of places around the world, it's hard to pinpoint just one, I think. And yeah, that's enough of that. I've already answered that, haven't I? But thank you. I agree with you. Mrs. Vinny, if you could make up your own cruise take cabin from a ship, buffet from the ship destination, what would you do? Make up your own cruise take cabin. Right. I don't understand that question, Mrs. Vinny, and it might be because I'm very literal when I read things. Excuse me. Would you be able to just maybe write that one out again for me? I'm really sorry. Please don't be upset with me. No one, what are your biggest tips for managing costs as a solo passenger? Go on to Igloo, filter by solo passenger and lowest cost to highest cost. Find out which costs work with you and your budget, and then of course tally with your personal needs in terms of the cruise line and itinerary. That's what I do. And sometimes you'll find that there are cruises that are just on the horizon and they've had great price drops as well. That's how I do it. It's as simple as that. Honestly, there's no secret to it. As a solo traveler, what would you consider a good deal per night for a cruise? £100 as a solo per night. I've had less, but for me that, and I managed to get a Cunard cruise for £1,400 for myself, 2 weeks. I thought that was really good value. That's what I would consider good deal, but by and large, you're going to be paying a little bit more than that. Okay, we've got a retracted message. Vicky T's just noticed you're back in 1975 newspaper in the frame behind you I got for your birthday. Yes, it's there. Thank you for that. I was laughing at some of the people who were born the same year as me. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that person was born then as well. Liz Truss was born the same year as me. Imagine, I didn't know that. We could be good friends, maybe. Simon is talking to Ian. No, and I'm trying to find a solo cruise further up my budget. Okay, so hopefully I've just given you advice on that. You don't always have to pay double. I don't always have to pay double. So hopefully I answered that question. Audrey, Simon and I want to do Australia, but not allowed to fly long haul. That is a shame. You can follow my adventures when I get there. Nicola Age is just a number. Absolutely. How are we doing for time? Oh, I'm going to wrap up in about 3 minutes. You are doing well with your questions and comments tonight, I must say. Shout out to my cat. Is watching you now, Jamie. Hi, Casper, 15-year-old Casper. Hope you're well. World cruise. Simon suggests Audrey. That's a good idea. Tina, glad you took your s'mores off the Maiden. I don't actually know what that means, if I'm honest with you. Please explain that to me. Maybe it's a comment for somebody else. The Maiden, took your s'mores off the Maiden. Help me with that. Maybe it was someone else. People are talking to Casper the cat. Mrs. Vinny typing too fast. That's all right, no problem. Sharon, hi Jamie. Would you do a cruise on Bean? Folks, can I just talk to you about the importance of proofreading? Sharon, my darling, can you tell me what that means? Maybe you've already posted later. Rich, thank you for all your vlogs. It's been helpful for us. You're welcome. Considering the iced lattes, espresso teas, and vodka rebel, you are immune to caffeine. I am, but it probably also looks much worse than it is when everything is condensed like that. But pretty much immune, absolutely. Mrs. Vinny's back. If you could make up your own perfect cruise, mix it up. Favorite cabin, favorite buffet, what would you? All right, I'd have a little bit of Virgin Voyages. I'd have a little bit of Disney, the adults only Disney areas. I'd have a little bit of Fred Olsen in terms of traditional stuff. And a little bit of Partyville from Margaritaville. There you go. That all right for everyone? Oh, and a bit of MSC Yacht Club here and there as well, because I do like that. That's a good mix, isn't it? That's all right. People are saying hello to Casper. Sharon's back. Would you do a cruise to York, then the Caribbean? York? Do you mean New York? If that's what you mean, yes, but that's a long cruise and I'd be away from Matthew for too long. So it's highly unlikely I'd be able to do that. But yes, I would. If you mean New York and then the Caribbean, I would absolutely love that. York would be quite difficult to get to by cruise ship, I think. Cat reacted to, oh right, Casper's reacting, yes. The drying maiden behind you. Oh, okay, gotcha. Understood now. Thank you for that. Nicola, they certainly do think she likes Jamie's voice. Oh, that's the thing. You know, some of my haters say they hate my voice, and I'm like, why are you here? Why are you still here listening? Be gone, meat sandwiches. Be gone. Weirdos. Vicky says the 1970, and I'm going to call time in a minute, by the way. The 1975 newspaper is a family tradition. We get them once in our lifetime on significant birthday. Oh, significant birthdays. Of course, we had to get you one, being my adopted brother and adopted son to Mama and Papa T's. That was cute. How cute is that? People who adopted me. I love that. I love that so much. Mrs. Vinny, love Disney and Yacht Club. That could be an interesting mix, couldn't it? And Gigi, congratulations on being on the best 15 UK travel vloggers. I don't even know what... How does anyone decide what the best is out of interest? I don't even know where that's come from. I thank you, first of all, is what I should have said. I just do me all the time. I focus on me. I don't focus on other vloggers. I wish them all very well. If top 15 something or other, lovely jubbly. Yeah, why not, eh? Ian, we made, and everyone's talking about Jamie postcard for the birthday boy. Well, you say postcard, it's in a frame. I have it. It's just down here, actually. I've got this big pile of stuff I need to decide where to put things. And given that I want to move, it might just have to stay in a box for now. And then I will arrange when we move. Last of all, people are saying goodbye, Casper. What's the best thing about every cruise you've been on, from dining to entertainment? The best thing about every cruise? I don't think there's one best thing. One best thing about a cruise? There's no one best thing. Like, I love bits of cruising to Hawaii, but it was the anticipation of arriving, and then the islands. I love doing the transatlantic, being in the middle of nowhere, like the Pacific. Felt isolating and super exciting, and then arriving into New York. I love some of the specialty dining. I love some of the entertainment. I love some of the cabins. I can't specify one thing, I'm sorry. Oh, Sailor Magazine did a survey, the 4Bs did a blog about it. Okay, I didn't know that. I'm really sorry about that. I don't tend to look at, and the Sailor boys know this, I don't tend to look at surveys about me and other vloggers. I don't look at who's got most subscribers, most views, and all that sort of stuff. And one of the reasons is because I don't think it's healthy to compare yourself to thousands of other people. I feel like when I withdrew from doing that kind of thing, when I stopped worrying about what other vloggers were doing and what I should or could be doing, I felt like I was much more natural. I felt more relaxed and much happier as a result. I hope that makes sense. It's certainly not meant to offend anyone. I just find that works for me better, you know. But I love working with the Sailaway boys. I consider them good friends, and I always wish them well and every success in everything they do. Right, I am going to finish now. Thank you for being here. If you haven't already done a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. As I said, I am off on me travels this coming week, so I won't be around from Monday Night Live for 2 or 3 weeks. You need time off from me as well, you do, but the vlogs will be coming out thick and fast. I hope to do the odd pop-up depending on Wi-Fi or data, and I can definitely do one from Lisbon, I know that, so I will do some, so keep an eye out. But I want to thank you first of all for allowing me to express some quite personal things at times this evening, and my disappointment in how some people react and treat others. Have you all messaged somebody that you miss or love and just sent them a nice message, or said something nice to someone in your home? That's what I want you to do. If you haven't already, please do that for me, okay? You can message as well to tell me you've done it. Please do that. Remember what I said, if this live, by the time we've had all the replays over the next week or two, gets anywhere up to 10,000 views, that's a lot of people sharing the love, isn't it? Do that, go on, I'd love that. I will see you all very soon. Thank you for your support as always. I'm gonna have to, I'm afraid, finger the screen because it's my phone and the cross is up there, and I apologize. Lots of love to you all, and don't forget, I really do love you. You down there, you need to brush your teeth more often, all right? Mwah. Love you. Bye everyone. Sorry for fingering and thumbing you. That's just the worst.